I'm talking to my next guest now, Richard Clear, who claims to be the invisible man. Richard, I hate to break it to you, but plainly I see you are not invisible.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You are not.
Am too.
Am not.
Am too.
Not.
Am.
Not.
Am.
Not.
Am.
Not. Here, I quit. You do your own show.
I am not a whore. I am not a whore. I don't look at her as a prostitute.
I didn't want to go out with
Well,
her.
I didn't want to either.
Hey, everybody. I'm Rolonda Watts, and welcome to a very special edition of Talk Soup. That's right. Now, calm down. You're about to witness a whole half hour of my greatest hits from 1994. There you go. Coming up, a newlywed comes down with a bad case of what you might call Niagara stools. Hate it when that happens. A 95-year-old man reveals the secret of his longevity. Plus, I'm going to be getting real personal with Bob Berkowitz. But first, a tricky exercise in semantics, courtesy of a guest named Jessie Winchester. Now, she was on a show I did featuring women who take some desperate measures just to keep their families out of the poorhouse. In Jessie's case, that meant turning tricks in a Nevada bordello. As you're going to see, this woman's quite proud of her profession. She doesn't mind it if you call her a streetwalker. She doesn't mind if you call her a lady of the night. But whatever you do, don't call her that H-O word.
You look good for being a grandmother, but being a whore, though.
No, I am not a whore. I am not a whore. I am a hooker. I am not a whore. What is the difference? A whore? What is the difference? Well,
I think let Jessie defend herself.
There's no
let
difference.
Jessie defend herself.
There's no difference.
Okay, what do you say to a young man who looks at you and calls you a whore?
I say he's misinformed. Nevada is unique because the brothels are legal. It is a place of work. You know, how many women in this country, you know, maybe their cars have broken down, so they date a mechanic and they sleep with him to get their car fixed. I'm just being more honest about what I do, and what I do is legal.
And how about the women that go up the ladder in the executive positions or in any kind of a business, and they do that exactly the same thing?
Oh, no. Now, wait a minute. I'm a businesswoman, okay? And I got here, wait a minute.
Well, you didn't say all.
I didn't say all of them.
Wait a minute.
I did not say all
I've gotten very
of them.
far in a career with it on my feet, not on my back.
I didn't.
Okay, so 1994 was a little feisty year for me. What can I say? That was, I guess, the week before I switched to decaf. I did tell her I was sorry for the way I came back to her, but I'm not sorry for what I said. So, anyway, by the way, Jessie's a grandmother of 3. And now I'd like to introduce you to John and Seth. Boy, these guys were on the show. They did a show called Roommates from Hell. Seth... yeah. Do you know Seth? Well, anyway, Seth accused John of being a slob, but John blamed their long-standing feud on Seth's obnoxious behavior. Now, just to illustrate his point, John told this amusing anecdote involving Seth, a roll of film, and an extremely candid camera.
He's really the one you should start out with. He's the one with the problems. He's the one who's causing everything to go wrong.
Let me give you the perfect example.
Go for it, John.
Okay. First of all, I don't want to use the term roommate because that has a connotation of friendship. And certainly there is none between
You guys
Seth
really
and I.
aren't friends at all?
Well,
we got a room.
Let me explain why.
John, I can explain it.
Let me explain why.
We have a mutual friend.
Right.
We both get along with very well. We're both lawyers at this present time, and we both need a place to move into. And she said, you guys would get along great. You guys would be such great friends.
Let me tell you how great.
Okay. All right, let's hear, Seth.
That's John.
John.
I go to a family affair. I take pictures on a camera. I come home and leave the camera on my bed. And Seth comes into my room, waltzes in, unbeknownst to me, and takes pictures of his private parts. With the camera, and does not tell me. Now, I guess he thought that I would go to the photo mat and, you know, have a big shock. Well, this was a family affair, and I sent the film home.
No!
I'm serious. I wish it wasn't true.
Who developed the film?
My mother.
Your mother? Oh, mama. Well, the sad thing is that Mom ordered 8x10s. Oh, well, Seth claims that the private parts in the picture are not his. As far as I know, nobody's come forward to claim them. Who knows who they belong to? The roommates say they'll stay together until their lease runs out later this year. A list of the greatest beauties of all time would have to include Cleopatra, Helen of Troy, the Mona Lisa, and by her own estimation, a former guest of mine named Dawn. Now, Dawn says that people often confuse her with high-fashion models, royal princesses, a few Greek goddesses here and there. A member of my audience had quite a different assessment of Dawn's charms.
I was in Detroit recently visiting my mother. All of a sudden, these merchants started coming out, following us, and I turned around and said, "What's going on?" They said that security had radioed to them that Miss America was in the mall. And I thought, oh, my God.
From the audience. I did. Oh, they're not buying that over here. Wait a minute. What are you guys doing? What are you saying about this lady?
Okay, I'm here. I detect 6 very large egos on the stage. And I think if the 3 ladies... Now, wait a minute. I think the 3 ladies ought to exchange telephone numbers with these 3 men, because I don't see anybody on the panel that is as glamorous as they might perceive.
Yolanda,
that's her
I want to say
opinion.
something. That's exactly why I was afraid to do this show, because I thought that people would think I was conceited. Someone asked me to do this show, and I didn't want to do it.
Oh, I don't remember anybody kicking and dragging anybody to be on this show. I mean, it didn't take long before Kimberly dug herself an even deeper hole.
I do admit that I'm attractive, and I think that everybody in this room would find me attractive. I'm not, but I'm not conceited.
Kimberly's a physical therapist. This next highlight comes from one of my, I have to admit, this was one of my favorite shows of 1994. Earlier this year, I did this program called Living to Be 100. And one of my guests was one of the most adorable, lovable, highest-spirited 95-year-old men I've ever met, named Mr. Johnson. Now, he really delighted us with his wit and his wisdom. Here he is sharing his deceptively simple secret for a long life. Living to Be 100, our topic today on Rolonda. Before we left, we were getting to Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you are how old?
95.
95. Gosh, how do you get to be 95 years old?
Just don't die.
I'm sorry you caught me on that one. It was hard for me to get, boy, that got me. 95 and still going strong. That was Mr. Johnson. The panelists gave me a lot of different theories, by the way, on longevity. Most of them seemed to think that it was just important to have a positive attitude and laugh at life's little problems. Still to come on this special edition of Rolonda Soup, a woman casts pearls before canines. Plus, a hooker mom squares off with one of my audience members.
How much money do you make?
It's my body. It doesn't matter how I make my money, okay?
Well, you're here.
But
Why are you here?
I'm not being a pig
Why
out
are
in
you
the
here
street,
being nosy?
okay? And I'm not sleeping with every man that comes by.